Hey everyone, this is Rebecca, Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Victor Golf, and today we're here in North Georgia at the White and Union County line, and we're going to summit Wildcat Mountain to get a SOTA activation. And I'm really excited about this activation because it's been about 2 years since I've completed one, so I'm looking forward to getting back in the saddle. And we're also hoping to get a POTA activation knocked out because we are in the Chattahoochee-Oconee National Forest. All right, we're getting just a little bit closer. This has fortunately been a pretty easy, straightforward hike. The weather's overcast yet nice, the trails aren't sloppy. Looking forward to doing a little more hiking after our activation to get our mileage and exercise in. All right, for real this time, we are actually about to approach the summit. It is within sight. It's been a beautiful hike. I'm loving the greenery, like seeing the rocks. Can't wait to take our last steps there. Wow, here we are. I've never summited this one, so this is a really nice new view for me. Wow. Shouldn't have taken 2 years to hike in the mountains. Yeah, so here in a little bit we're going to set up. We're going to start with our HF rig, our Yaesu FT818. We do have the solar flares working against us, but we're going to give it a go anyway. I'm really anxious to try my 40-meter antenna that I built a couple of weeks ago in the field. If you remember from our last POTA activation, we didn't have a lot of activity on 40 to really test it and put it through the paces. So hopefully we'll have a little more activity today. But if not, we'll go hike again.
To begin setting up the 40-meter antenna, Ben affixed the paracord to the quarter-full Nalgene and then tossed it into the tree. Now that I have had a few attempts at this task under my belt, I told him I would never laugh at him ever again while he did this. But hey, talk is cheap. He did get it up there in one, so no making fun of him this time. Next, it was time to get the 40-meter end-fed half-wave out to attach it to the paracord in the tree. A recurring theme that we have run into with handling the 40-meter antenna wire is that despite the SOTA beam's wire being relatively easy to work with, this extra length does make it more susceptible to tangling, as Ben and I have both experienced in the backyard and in the field. Once Ben untangled the wire, he resolved to order an antenna winder so we would have it for our next outing. With the untangled wire in hand, Ben was able to complete the setup for the end-fed half-wave 40-meter antenna as an inverted V. From there, we set up our chairs and got out the Nano VNA to calibrate the antenna.
So we did get the 40-meter antenna hung and ready to go. We did have a little delay because the SWR ended up being a little high. So we did have to lengthen the wire a little bit temporarily, get a little bit of splicing going on, and we ended up getting a good SWR to give this 40-meter antenna a go.
Before spinning the dial on 40 meters, however, we decided to first get out our roll-up Slim Jim antenna so that we could also operate on 2 meters. One of the nice things about working from a summit is that you have a really nice line of sight, potentially leading to a lot of good contacts on 2 meters, which is something we don't commonly see with POTA activations. Now that the antenna is in the tree, we can directly hook it up to an HT. The HTs we use are Yaesu FT60Rs, which have been really great, and along with this antenna, we can hopefully get some good contacts on 2 meters. Removing the yellow signal stick antenna, The HT was then connected to the roll-up Slim Jim, and the dial was set to 14652 for monitoring, waiting for the first contact to come in. With both the 818 and the HT set up, it was time to sit down and start calling CQ to earn our SOTA and POTA activations.
CQ SOTA, this is Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Victor Golf, calling CQ for summits on the air.
Whiskey 5, Golf Delta Whiskey.
Whiskey 5, Golf Delta Whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Whiskey 5, Golf Delta Whiskey.
Roger, roger, Whiskey 5, Golf Delta Whiskey. You are 55, North Carolina.
QSL, you're about a 5.9 plus here in Georgia.
Copy the 5.9 plus. I'll stand by for the other operator.
73, I'll hand him over.
Whiskey 5, Golf Delta Whiskey, QSL.
Roger, roger, you are 55, North Carolina, 55.
QSL, thank you for the 5-5 into North Carolina. You're a solid 5.9 plus on Whiskey 4 Golf, November Golf 020, QSL.
QSL, thanks for the activation. Y'all stay safe out there and stay warm.
73, thank you so much. This is Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Victor Hotel, QRZ.
November 4, Bravo Uniform November.
November 4, Bravo Uniform November. November 4, Bravo Uniform November, QSL.
QSL, November 4, Bravo Uniform November. You're 55, Oconee County, Georgia.
QSL, thank you for the 5-5 into Oconee County. You're a 5-8 into Wildcat Mountain. It's a SOTA Summit, Whiskey 4 Golf, November Golf 020, and it's a POTA Park, Kilo 4473, QSL.
QSL, waiting second off. Thank you, 73.
73, handing you over now.
November 4, Bravo Uniform November. This is Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Victor Golf, QSL.
Roger, roger, 5555, Oconee County, Georgia. Thank you both, and 73. Have a great day.
73, have a great day as well. So we were here up on the air for about 2 hours. We were able to successfully activate the SOTA Summit Wildcat Mountain, as well as the POTA reference of the Chattahoochee-Oconee National Forest. We got the vast majority of our contacts on 40 meters, and then we also switched over to 20 meters and worked 2 meters as well. So some of the lessons we learned are that if you're going to be out on a summit for a couple of hours, bring a little table or a stool or something like that with you to hold up the radio or your clipboard if you need that. And also bring some more wire with you. With our 40-meter antenna, we actually had to lengthen it a little bit to get the SWR into the foam portion of the 40-meter band. It was also nice with our contacts to be able to make QSOs with hams we've met in person, so that was kind of awesome. But all in all, this has been a great activation, and from here we're going to do a little more hiking to make the most of this nice day. All right, so we just finished our hike from Wildcat Mountain to Cowrock and back to Hogpen Gap, and I am wiped. I need to definitely do this a lot more often. It was a great SOTA and POTA activation, had a lot of fun doing both of those in one fell swoop, and I look forward to future activations. So until then, 73.